Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Marvel Strike Force. Welcome to the what I'm going to call the pre blog blog. Yes, I said it twice. Data mines video, because a lot of what you're going to see here in today's video is going to give you a heads up of probably not only next week, but actually the week ahead as well in 2 weeks' time. There is lots of stuff that have been coming out earlier than usual. We have all the data mines for next week, which will be week 4 of the Harbinger. There's also going to be a week 5 of the Harbinger before we even go into the second chapter. And we also have details of an Invisible Woman MCU event, free to play event. Now, I feel kind of duped, but like this is my fault, right? So I did spend the intel to buy Invisible Woman. I don't regret this. It's fine. I'll get more shards for her and get her at a higher star, and she's going to be a really important. This whole team is going to be super important anyways, so I'm not mad about spending my intel. I said I was going to do that anyways. I did it. I got the 4 characters unlocked, and so when I core for Franklin Richards next week, I'll have all 5 of the characters available. I can do the Fantastic Four tower and do everything that's required of me with this team, hopefully, right? So we're going to be talking about her event and all that and more in today's video. So if you're ready to go, everybody, let's boil this down. Okay, so we got quite a few things. Now, I do want to kind of just backpedal a little bit, because next week is going to be week 4 of the Harbinger event. So I do want to go back into. There's been a lot of data mines, right? I just want to go back up to where we actually saw it, which I believe was maybe a little bit further. Harbinger finale week 4. So this is what we're going to be doing next week, right? That's going to be the weekly command center event. So spend campaign energy, collect unstable cells from arena, play war with Gear Tier 13 or 1619 Quasar in war, and then play with Franklin Richards in 567 yellow. I talked about this in the last video, but we're going to see whether or not that ends up being bugged next week as well, where you can do the balanced draft PvP and get the command center objectives. Now, I think that with the current leaderboard ending on Monday, I think that there's not going to be any major event. We're just going to have the command center stuff. They tend to give us a little bit of a break in between the leaderboard events. So do look out for that. Again, all this stuff is ongoing right now, right? We can skip ahead. Also, there's going to be a Battle Pass Season 52 of Invisible Woman MCU, but that's going to be after this current one ends. So it's going to be like in a week or so. Baxter Building is the name of the Fantastic Four Tower. You might have seen that in the command center because it did show up in there and then they took it away. So that's going to be coming. This might be next week. I'm not entirely sure because there is a gap, right? And it would make sense anyways because Franklin Richards is going to be unlocking, but you do need all 5 characters in order to be able to do that at Purple ISO. Okay, so now we're moving back to some of the newer stuff here. We had the traits from the Quasar Scourge, and I think that could be next week as well. Right, because we're going to have the entire Fantastic Four team as well, but you don't actually need all of them anyways. We talked about this in the last video here, just to recap. So there's going to be 2 nodes of Accursed or Quasar, and then Accursed Fantastic Four or Quasar. So it could be next week. It could be on like Monday, Tuesday, or something like that, but it also could be week 5, right? The start of week 5, which hasn't happened yet. And we do have that as well, the Harbinger finale week 5. This also could be in conjunction to some other events. I don't know if there's going to be a leaderboard that week or not. We don't have that data mine yet, but it's a play raids and then use the new Fantastic Four heroes at Gear Tier 20. So do keep that in mind. Now let's start with the new stuff, right? So Multiversal Force, earn Invisible Woman MCU shards. This is a global milestone, but this is going to be related to Danger Room. So it says by earning cosmic atoms in the Danger Room. There is data mines about Fantastic Four Danger Room, so that there's been offers that is coming, but this very well is probably going to be a week 5 thing. This could be in the blog today for week 4, but a part of me thinks that this is going to be a week 5 event, which won't be for another like 10 days or so. So do keep that in mind as well. Next week's probably going to be pretty boring with the cosmic atoms currency. So my guess is this is going to be 100 shards in the global milestone for Invisible Woman MCU. So if you don't have her unlocked yet, then you will at least have it within 2 weeks or so, because if it's in week 5, then you're still looking at about 10 to 14 days probably before that actually unlocks. So do keep that in mind. We do have some frames coming for the Danger Room. There's some like special frames, I guess. This must be different than what the actual avatar icon frames look like right now. So, oh, frames, not icons, right? So, yeah, there will be some special Fantastic Four frames. Now we have this very special event called the Fantastic Force coming. Okay, and it says mini showcase. The Fantastic Four event is coming soon. Participate in the event to earn amazing rewards to join the team on their quest. So this is a 4 week long different event that each week will be unlocking. This is going to be probably through the end of July and into August, and this is going to be a prelude to Chapter 2. But the way that it's functioning, and you guys might remember this from last year, right? So in August, we had the Deadpool's, the collab event basically for the Deadpool movie. That was last year, right? And we had like a month long, 4 week long. This also happens with the anniversary month and things like this, where we have like a 4 week long showcase essentially. So this is going to be coming around, and I don't think it's going to be that difficult. So the restriction for week one is going to be Heroes and Fantastic Four MCU. Basically, it's going to be following along the storyline though that exists with the current story with the Age of Annihilus. We're going to be moving into Chapter 2. So basically, this is kind of leading into that. Week 2 is going to be Fantastic Four and City. Week 3 is going to be Fantastic Four and Global. And then finally, week 4 is going to be Fantastic Four and Cosmic. So again, this is going to have story implications. If you could care about the story anyways, this is obviously leading up to Blastar, which was confirmed by Ryan Jacobson. So he is going to be in next month's patch, right? So the August patch is going to have Blastar as the legendary. We knew that. I've been talking about it for ages. But the story in this event is going to, allude to that essentially. And you can see this in the dialogue. Well, I'll skip ahead a little bit. Sir, we caught him. It looks like look what the cat dragged in. I could just rip your spine out. That's Blastar talking. Cute, but you're the prisoner here. You might hate me, but I know you hate Annihilus more. That worm left me for dead. He'll drown in his own bile before I kneel to him again. That's exactly what I want to hear. We have a common enemy, Blastar. You think you can control me? No, but I can aim you. I don't know if that's Nick Fury or who. It's probably Nick Fury talking, right? You want a monster to fight? Fine, as long as I get to crush him with my bare hands. And if you try to betray us, I have a dozen contingency plans and a teleporter set to drop you in the sun. So obviously, we know that Blastar is going to be joining Strike as part of the second legendary, and so I guess the idea is that he was betrayed and he wants revenge on Annihilus, something like that. That's like where the story's headed. So just some preview for Chapter 2. There is some dialogue as well here for the Fantastic Four and the Fantastic Four Tower. Again, there might be, what's interesting is it says Fantastic Four boss starred. So I'm wondering if we actually get to fight Annihilus in the Fantastic Four Tower. And the reason why I'm saying this, which means he might have a kit. So his kit might become available early, or I don't know, or maybe it'll get changed later. I don't know. But it talks about Annihilus, and then it says, "Watch out, he's powering up an energy attack. It's too late." So, this is like during the waves. He's talking literally during the waves, and then when you win, he's too powerful, and more of his allies are on the way. We're going to be overwhelmed. What do we do? The only thing we do is run and fight another day. So it sounds like I don't know if we're actually fighting Annihilus. Maybe we're fighting him for a couple of turns, right? Maybe you have to hold out. I don't know if you guys remember like the old story missions where you had to hold out for 4 turns, that kind of thing. And so I'm wondering if that's what this is going to be when the Fantastic Four Tower comes out. And that might give us a glimpse of the Annihilus kit. We do know that hit also Franklin Richards offers. We kind of knew that, but they're in the data mines too. So if I scroll back, right, you guys might remember here from this data mines and when I did this video that there is an avatar icon for Annihilus. There's also kit icons for Annihilus as well. And this is pretty important because this might mean that we might get a reveal for his kit. Now, the one thing that I'm concerned about this is that obviously he's not going to be publicly available to unlock right until like what, March of next year, April next year. So if they have a kit for him, is this going to need to be changed later? Because this is like what, 8 months, 9 months in advance. If they design a kit now, does that mean that he's going to be severely power crept later on because they didn't think about that in the future? That's the kinds of things that I'm wondering. Now, we know, or at least I know, because of being in the Envoy program, that they tend to work on characters 5 to 6 months out, which means that by the time Annihilus comes out, they're not even ready. They haven't even built those character kits yet. So this might be something that they might need to come back to the drawing board with later on, if indeed we are fighting Annihilus. But we'll have to find out as well. So that'll be interesting. And I also want to remind people that this team is going to be the next Annihilator. They are the next Annihilators, right? So regardless of what people think about the Fantastic Four MCU, um, you're going to need to build this team. And frankly, you know, I'm probably going to G20 them for Cosmic Hero, or at least as many as I possibly can. Once we figure out, like literally, once we have the full team, figure out who of the new characters is actually worth the gear tier 20, and I'll probably do it in that order because I do want to get the most bang for my buck for that with regards to the gear tier 20 upgrades. And hey, if I can get some bonus points, because one of the command center upgrades did say that you'll get premium points for gear tier 20 on the new characters, great for me. You know, if I can get some extra benefit out of that. The other thing that I do want to say is this team, even though it's a chapter 1 team, it very well could be a chapter 2 team. I was talking about they might have the chapter 2 Harbinger trait. The reason for that is because Vigilantes was not actually a true chapter 1 team. When Quasar and stuff came out, these guys were basically already out. And so I think that the reason why they were given the chapter 1 tag was because they needed a team to run Negative Zone and some of the other events related to that, and they didn't have Thunderbolts fully out yet. And because it's supposed to be 3 months worth of teams, right? Thunderbolts, Accursed, Fantastic Four. So what very well could happen, because you know, I don't know if we're going to have the next team right away when Blast Star gets released and the chapter 2 gets released, that they're going to need another team. And so that very well could be the Fantastic Four MCU, which would be fine because then I get to double dip that. Now, some people were asking me what I'm going to be doing about my Accursed and the Quasar Scourge. I'll be honest, even though I could build them, I might still skip this. I don't know if the Quasar 7 Red is worth me investing 100+ million gold worth of training modules. And I know what people are going to say. Boilon, you have that kind of resources. I do. But I still don't really want to build the team because there's another reason why I'm hoarding gold, and something that I'll talk about in another video. I'm not prepared to dump it right now. Quasar is a good character, and I use him here and there, mostly in PvP, and people know my thoughts about PvP. But how valuable is that 7 red star going to be for Quasar when we know that diamonds are not going to be available for like a year? So I guess that's what I'm thinking of. Is your gameplay really going to change that much between a 6 red and a 7 red, knowing that diamonds aren't going to be happening for like a year, right? And so I guess that's what it's come down to. We'll talk about that more, of course, when the Scourge becomes available. And who knows, maybe we can do 12 nodes and not have to even touch the Accursed nodes, and we can just use Vigilantes and Thunderbolts and get through it like that. We'll have to see what ends up happening when we can see the event and when we can actually see the rewards as well, to see whether or not any of this is worth it. But otherwise, I just wanted to let people know about the Invisible Woman MCU free shards that are going to be coming. So if if you're in the middle of spending intel and you don't want to and you want to back off, then feel free to do so, because there is going to be a free event coming. It just might not be next week. It could be the week after. So keep that in mind as well. Otherwise, that's going to be the end of this video, everyone. I hope you guys all have a great weekend. There's going to be more videos to come here, obviously, on the Boilon channel, and I'll see you guys all on the next one. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and you'll be greatly helping out the channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.